What up, everybody? What's good? Hey, welcome back to yet another video. Today, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to preview and predict these Week 2 preseason matchups. Are they exciting? No, it's preseason. But, hey, it's something to do in the meantime. I have an idea for NBA quizzes tomorrow, so you should definitely stop by and check that out. As my phone decides to go off, we're going to go ahead and tell him, sorry, you're not allowed to be here right now. That being said, my name is Cody Lear. If you don't mind giving me a like, comment, and subscribe, if you haven't already, I would absolutely appreciate it. I am on 16 right now, so we're kind of on the way up. Hopefully those things kind of keep going in the right direction. Hopefully you do enjoy what I am doing here as I try to predict and do a lot of other fun stuff. We will try to get back to those prediction videos actually coming soon. So we will get to that here in the meantime. But that being said, let's get on with these preseason games, huh? First up, we're going to quickly go over the Tennessee Titans versus the Atlanta Falcons. I don't have any reason to believe in my Titans, as tough as that is to say. I think the Falcons will get the job done. I think that their team is just all around a little bit more better. I think you're going to see a little bit more of the Titans' offense from Cam Ward. Calvin Ridley and him obviously had a phenomenal throw the other day. If you haven't seen that on the internet, oh, let me tell you, that was a beautiful back shoulder grab. But yeah, the Titans, we have some issues on the defensive side as a Titans fan, and it is unfortunate to see, but hey, I guess it's just how the cookie crumbles in certain scenarios, and I think that the Falcons will be able to take advantage of that. I do like the defense very well, and granted, like I said, you're going to see a lot more backups than you will just full starters, but the Falcons, I think, have a better team overall. They have Michael Penix. If you bring Kirk Cousins into the game, Kirk Cousins is absolutely a lot better than what you're going to get out of the Titans backups, even though they did sign Trevor Siemian this week. Hopefully that works out over there. But yeah, Falcons, I think, get this one pretty much running away. Next one will be the Chiefs versus Seahawks. And again, it's got to go to the Seahawks here. As much as I do like the Chiefs, we know that their starting team is really where the bread and butter is at, and they're going to be playing most of their backups. Seahawks have options with Jalen Milroe. They have Drew Lock. We might even see a little bit of Sam Darnold in that starting offense, just a little bit. And I think that the Seahawks will have the more complete team, and when it comes to second, third, heck, maybe even fourth string. And yeah, I think that they get the win here pretty comfortably as well. I do like Kansas City in the regular season, but I don't like them in the preseason. That is honestly probably self-explanatory. Packers versus Colts. Yeah, this is a tough one, huh? I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Colts here. I think that Riley Leonard had a pretty bad start to things last week, but I think he'll get it under control, and he'll get the win against the Packers. The Packers really didn't give me a lot of things to look forward to when it comes to them trying to get things together going on in the preseason. I think the Colts have an overall better defense. At least starting out, I think Jeff Hafley will get that team running by the beginning of the season. But for right now, I like the Colts a little bit better. It's pretty hard to tell because it's going to be Daniel Jones, probably Riley Leonard doing most of the snaps. I don't know if Richardson is healthy. I didn't quite look at that before I recorded this. But yeah, I think the Colts pretty much take this one, and I don't think you look back on that. The Patriots, they play the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this one I think is going to be a little bit more of a battle, but I like the Patriots. They absolutely dominated the Commanders. Vikings have a pretty solid team, but I don't think that they have the all-around things that the Patriots are going to do. I think the Patriots are going to take advantage of this preseason, get as much reps as they can out of that starting formation, and get things going for them. I like the Patriots. I think they're going to be a pretty decent team this year. I believe I put 8-9 on their video, so yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. I think the Patriots beat the Vikings here, and we keep things moving forward. The Dolphins, they're going to play the Lions. Lions didn't give me a lot of things to look forward to over there as well. They did end up beating the Falcons, and I think that they will beat the Dolphins here. The Dolphins looked kind of rough, man. Other than Tua Tagovailoa, Quinn Ewers looked really, really bad. I don't know what they got going on for a second string kind of guy, but the Lions, man, they have a pretty solid team. I do like Hendon Hooker a lot. That's being a Vols fan, so a little bit of bias on that one. But yeah, the Lions, Lions are a really good, solid team. I think I like the Lions in this one. The Browns, they're going to be playing the Eagles. I think that that's a pretty obvious one for the Eagles. Now, Shador looked phenomenal against the Carolina Panthers. He looked really, really good. Tanner McKee also looked phenomenal in his game. Who did they beat up on? I honestly forgot. I think it was the Bengals defense. So, granted, two different defenses that aren't exactly what you would call top tier, and I think that that's part of the issue there. The Eagles have a really fun team, though, and they have a lot of talent all over the place. So I think the Eagles will get the job done here. I think Cleveland will look good though. I think Dylan Gabriel's supposed to play a little bit, so I can't wait to see what him and Shador are looking like. Maybe a little bit of Kenny Pickett action. I don't know what all they're doing, but yeah, for now, whew, I really like that Eagles second, third, fourth. It's a pretty good team over there. The Carolina Panthers, they're going to be on the road to the Texans, which should be fun. I think we'll see a little bit of Bryce versus CJ, which I know a lot of people would love to see. I have a friend that really would not like to see it because he does not like CJ. He's a big Panthers fan, and the Texans kind of have been crapping on him for years because of that. That being said, Texans defense is absolutely insane, so I'm gonna go with them. I think even their second string is better than the Panthers' first string. Like the Texans know how to play some defense. D'Amico Ryans is a heck of a coach. Uh, yeah, again, it's preseason. What's the point of even predicting? You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna give that one to the Texans. The 49ers play the Raiders. I think both teams actually looked kind of okay last week. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I think. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I like the Raiders a lot. I have a lot of hope in the Raiders, and I don't know why, right? I want to see more of Cam Smith. I want to see more of Geno Smith. I don't want to see so much of Aiden O'Connell, but that's kind of what you get over there. The problem with the Raiders is I don't really know what their offense is really going to look like. I didn't love what they did because they didn't really do a lot of crazy things at the receiver. They did get, I believe, Jack Betch, but other than that, I don't. I'm very critical of what the Raiders are doing, and I think that that's going to continue here, and the Raiders are going to get themselves a victory over the 49ers. Chargers at the Rams, man. This is going to be a tough preseason game, isn't it? Ooh, let me go with the Chargers, yeah. They're both technically playing in their home stadium anyway, so it's not going to be really a big home and away kind of deal. Chargers, I think I like Trey Lance better than I like the Rams backups. I know Stetson Bennett will be there, but I've been told Matt Stafford's injured, so very likely he won't be playing. So yeah, I think the Chargers will get the job done there. I think that they have a little bit more overall of a team, not just their first string, and I think that that's why the Chargers get a win against the Rams in the preseason. You know, things kind of we'll kind of see how the regular season goes. Uh, as I keep saying, I try not to crap on these teams too much because these guys are just trying to live their dreams. You know, who am I to yell at them? The Buccaneers played the Steelers. They both looked really, really solid last week. Who I don't know if Skylar Thompson's going to be able to do that to the Bucks. I'll go with the Buccaneers here. Yeah, Kyle Trask looked really, really good as well last week, and I think that they have a little bit more to be excited about on the offensive side for them. Their defense should play pretty good football. The Steelers are a pretty solid team, but I do think the Buccaneers will get the win there, and I'm not too ashamed about that one. I think that's a pretty far and away pretty decent prediction there. Jets play the Giants. I like Jackson Dart more than I like what the Jets are doing, mostly because I've heard Tyrod Taylor might be out. So yeah, I'll take the Giants on that because Jackson Dart looked pretty freaking solid last week, and I think he continues that. The Jets have a pretty good team. They have a pretty fun team overall. I think I like what they're doing over there, and I think I'm gonna stick with the Giants getting that win there. I'm gonna let my cat eat before we get to the Ravens and Cowboys. Alrighty, so we're back for the Ravens and the Cowboys. The Cowboys. Oh wait, no, this is also gonna be known as a revenge game for our boy Cooper Rush. All right, Cooper Rush going to come into Dallas and absolutely dominate them Cowboys who cannot figure out how to sign their star players. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna go with the Ravens here. Yeah, I think I think the Ravens have a better team overall. I do kind of like, and their second string has a lot of things to prove, right? Because especially in the rushing attack, without Henry, you're going to need somebody to kind of take that fulfillment on. And I think that they have just the guys to do that, and I think they're going to get the job done against the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in the Ravens beating the Cowboys versus the Broncos. Broncos have what we call a sneaky good football team, and I think that they're going to be a problem this year. I think that that might actually be my next prediction video, to be honest with you. I predicted them to win their division because their team is just kind of sneaky good. We obviously know the Chiefs will be good. We obviously know the Chargers should be pretty good. Raiders are going to be underrated as well. The Broncos have a really good football team. Cardinals, they're going to try to get things figured out with Marvin Harrison Jr. over there. Obviously, they have some pretty talented players on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if their defense is really on the Broncos level, though. I think they will have a better defense this year, but I don't know if I love exactly where they're at. I'm going to take the Broncos to win that one. The Jaguars, they will be taking on the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shuck looks pretty good, but I think the Jaguars looked even better, and the Jaguars will do that again. Tyler Shuck, he had one really bad interception, but he also had one really beautiful touchdown pass. Travis Hunter, I think he's finally going to keep establishing himself over there. In Jacksonville, obviously Trevor Lawrence, the only thing he's got to do is get him and BTJ the ball. Obviously, their running game and some pretty talented players in the backfield, so we know the Jaguars should be a pretty good football team coming into the year. And yeah, I'm going to give the Jaguars the win here, and I think we're going to keep moving. The Bills play the Chicago Bears. Oh, as I should say, the Buffalo Bills play the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to give the Bears the win. I think they have a more overall complete team. The Bills did not exactly look phenomenal against the Giants. I don't think that is really the case. Their offense is basically Josh Allen. We know that. We've quite frankly known that for a while. That's why he was the MVP last year, and that's going to continue here. I think the Bills do have a really solid team, and I think they will make a really good run towards the postseason this year. But for me, I think that the Bears will win in the preseason. Now, the last game is going to be on Monday Night Football. I do not know why that is a thing in preseason, but the Bengals take on the Washington Commanders. And we should see a little bit of Burrow and a little bit of Jaden, I think. So I'm a little excited to watch that, just a tiny bit. Yeah, we'll give the Commanders a dub there at home. I think that the Commanders, they have a good young team. It doesn't look like it on paper because they have some old players, but they do have some young players in that back. And the Bengals defense just looked absolutely horrible. And yeah, I don't know what he's going to do over there. Um, Joe Burrow, he's going to have to put up 50 a game, and hopefully that the other team does not do the same. So yeah, with that being said, I think the Commanders do get the W there. I think they can kind of continue on that little run of sorts that they're kind of doing. And I think that's going to be a really good finale. Right? I think that we've talked a lot about preseason and stuff that nobody really wants to talk about, which is preseason. Preseason sucks. Uh, With that being said, I do appreciate y'all for stopping by. I hope you did enjoy the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I have so many minutes of things to cut, and it is going to be awful. But I do love you all so much, so I will do my absolute best to keep these videos pumping. I do already have an idea for tomorrow, so that is a good thing, right? We'll have something to do as soon as we get ready to go and get things working. You know what I mean? That being said, thank you guys so very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next video.